but we did get a couple of good takes here. Another one about the red zone offense. It says, this red zone funk seems more concerning with no clear timetable on Mitchell Schwartz's return and a complete inability to get any push from interior line in short yardage situations. We did already talk about the offensive, or not the offensive line, but the red zone offense a little bit. But what do you guys think about this take? Do you think it's necessary or unnecessary?
It's fair. I mean, personally, like I'm not worried about it because it's the Chiefs. Like I think that they have enough to where that won't cripple them come the playoffs. Like when Harrison Butker was missing extra points, I was like, I don't think this will come back to bite them in the playoffs, even if it remains a problem just because of how good they are in other areas. Like I get that they won't get a good push from the interior line, which that is rising up my draft needs really badly. It's just not good to say the least.
Yeah.
And Mitchell Schwartz, I'm really, really worried about him because he's on the wrong side of 30. It's a back problem. He's been out for what, 5-6 weeks now?
6 weeks ish. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it's valid. It's necessary. But personally, for me, I'm not extremely worried about it.
Because I'm not extremely worried about it, I'm going to say actually unnecessary. I think they'll figure out the issues. I have much more confidence a team side of the ball with Mahomes, Kelsey, and Hill will figure out something to do about the red zone, and Andy Reid, of course. So I think it's valid to be like, guys, you need to be better than this. You cannot be 0-7 scoring touchdowns in the red zone against subpar teams. So they need to fix it. I think it's just unnecessary because I don't think anybody should really worry about it on the offensive side of the ball. I would be much more worried and much more on board and deem it necessary if they were worried about the defensive red zone touchdown percentage, because being last in the league and being just kind of bad at it the whole year kind of doesn't instill confidence going forward.
They're last in the league.
Last in the league. There's not they're in the lower third in number of possessions.
Sure.
But they're the worst in touchdown percentage in the red zone.
Bend but don't break. That was the old Bob Sutton not motto.
That was last year.
Tell. Yeah.
That was last year. They were ninth most red zone possessions, but they were the ninth best red zone TD percentage. So
they'd force them to field goals or get turnovers or something.
Maybe our next merch line needs to be bend and break. That's just the Chiefs defense this year.
That was a line in my article this week. I'm like, but this year's defense is more bend and then break.
Yep.
Yeah. So if you break this take down into 3 parts, like I'm going to, first one is the red zone funk seems more concerning. I'm going to say that's unnecessary. I don't think that this is more concerning than in years past, just because of the things we've already talked about. Because Travis Kelce is an absolute insane animal, and so is Patrick Mahomes and Tyreek Hill, and Andy Reid is phenomenal at his job. No clear timetable on Mitchell Schwartz's return, I think, is a very necessary concern. We kind of talked about this a little briefly, Connor, about if he could be movable. Wouldn't be surprised if he retires because of his age. Back problems are not good for long term when it comes to offensive linemen. A lot of factors going into Mitchell Schwartz that don't make me very comfortable about him coming back. And then the inability to get a push from the interior offensive line, that's a necessary problem, I think, as well. I've seen Andrew Wiley stall up on the offensive line of scrimmage and stop a goal line play from happening too many times. He stopped that play from Travis Kelce when he did a little shovel pass. Byron Pringle ran right into the back of him. There was another goal line play, I believe, in last week's game where he kind of got stood up a little bit too, just trying to basically push fight and not try to drive on the run on the goal line too, and that kind of stalled out that drive. So, Andrew Wiley, poor guy. I think that kind of sums it up there. But Nick Allegretti didn't have a phenomenal game either, and that sucks because we are on the Nick Allegretti hype train. I think that there are some viable concerns in there, but I don't think the whole take is necessarily necessary, if that makes sense.
I like it. That was good.
There's a shirt.
Necessarily put that on a shirt and print it. All right.